Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Andini Septama Sari, NIDN 0213099202. Saya dari Program Studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris di STKIP Muhammadiyah Pagar Alam. Saat ini saya sedang tugas belajar di Universitas Negeri Malang dan saya akan membuat sebuah simulasi video pembelajaran untuk PDD-UKTPT gelombang 1 tahun 2025. Adapun untuk CPL, CPMK, dan sub-CPMK tersaji pada slide berikut ini. For the CPL, students can understand the forms of TOEFL test. CPMK, by the end of the course, the students are expected to achieve a good score of listening section on the TOEFL test. And the last one, for the sub-JPMK, students correctly select answers by focusing on the second line. And students identify correct answers based on synonym recognitions. And students avoid incorrect choices that rely on similar sound verbs. This is the third meeting, and we're going to learn about these three texts. First, focus on the second line of conversation. Second, identify and choose answers using synonyms. And the last one, avoid distractors with similar sounds. Now, let's start this lesson with skill 1, focusing on second line. In listening part A, you will hear a short conversation involving two people. This conversation is followed by a question. It is important to understand that the answer to this type of question is most often, but not always, found in the second line of the conversation. So these three are things that you need to remember. First one is the answer is usually in the second speaker's line. And remember that the first line is the context, and also the second line is the key info. So the strategy is repeat the second line in your mind. Okay? Alright, this is the example for skill 1. On the recording, you hear Billy really made a big mistake this time. Yes, he forgot to turn in his research paper. What does the woman say about Billy? In the textbook, you read these four options. A. It was the first time he made a mistake. B. He forgot to write his paper. C. He turned in the paper in the wrong place. And D. He didn't remember to submit his assignment. Right. Which option do you think is the right one? Remember, skill 1, we need to focus on the second speaker, right? The second speaker here said that he forgot to turn in his research paper. It means that, right, he didn't remember to submit his assignment. Good job. Now we're moving on to the skill number 2. Choose answers with synonym. Often, the correct answer in listening part A is an answer that contains synonym. You know what synonym is, right? Good. Synonym is the word that has similar meanings but different sounds. So, TOEFL uses synonyms to test our comprehension. Remember that we need to focus on keywords and then rephrase the meaning. Here is the example for skill 2. On the recording you hear, why is Barbara feeling so happy? She just started working in the real estate agency. And the question is, what does the man say about Barbara? In the textbook, you read A. She always liked her work in real estate. B. She began a new job. C. She just bought some real estate. And D. She bought a real estate agency. Which one do you think is the best answer for this question? Okay, remember the skill 2 was focusing about the synonym, and we need to know which one is the key word for the second speaker of this conversation. Let's look at the look at what the man said. She just started working in a real estate agency. Just started here is the key word, right? Nah, this has the similar meaning with begin, right? Started and begin are the same word. So the best answer is B. She began a new job. Alright, this is skill 3. Avoid similar sounds. Often, the incorrect answer in listening part A are answers that contains word with similar sounds but very different meanings from what you hear in the recording program. So you should definitely avoid these answers. Look at these 3 points. The first, distractors are often use similar sounding words. For example, trap examples search versus research. They both are quite the same, right? And apartment versus department. These two words are also sounds the same. Okay. So what's the strategy? Good. The strategy, we need to identify the keywords. Also, we need to avoid any sound traps. Okay, here is the example for skill 3. On the recording, you hear, why couldn't Mark come with us? He was searching for a new apartment. What does the woman say about Mark? In your textbook, you read A. He was in the department office. B. He was looking for a place to live. C. He was working on his research project. And D. He had an appointment at church. Right. Let's see. The option A, it has department here, while the speaker said apartment instead of department. So this quiet similar sound. So we do not choose answer A, okay? And then he was looking for a place to live. Looking for here is the key. It is the same with searching for. Okay, this might be the best answer. This might be the correct answer. But let's look at the option number 3. He was working on his research project. Um, the speaker didn't talk about research at all, right? The speaker said searching, not research. So this is not correct. And he had an appointment at church. This is also quite the same with option number A. Appointment, department, apartment, they sound the same, but they um, totally different meaning. They have totally different meaning. Okay. And from these four options, option B is the best answer. Right. Right. It's time for us to have the exercise. You have 2 minutes to answer this. Okay. Let's start. You got the answer? Right. Let's do this. Did you see the manager about the job in the bookstore? Yes. And I also had to fill out an application. The question is, what does the man mean? Option A. He got a job as a bookstore manager. Option B. The bookstore was not accepting applications. Option C. He saw a book about how to apply for jobs. And option D. It was necessary to complete a form. What was the best answer? D. Right. It was necessary to complete a form. Um, the key here is necessary, which means an obligation. It has the same meaning as I also had to fill, right? He must fill this. So this is a necessary. Okay, good one. Another exercise. Another 2 minutes for you to do this. Okay. Did you find the answer yet? Okay, we'll discuss about this. I heard that Sally just moved into a new big house near the beach. But Sally doesn't have a cent. What does the man mean? The man, remember, the man said Sally doesn't have a cent, meaning that he doesn't have any money, right? Right. The best option or answer is C. She has no money. It is the same meaning as what the man said. Let's see options A, B, and D. Sally has no sense of responsibility. Look, sense here have the same sound with scent in the man speaks spoken, right? Also, part option B, it also have it also has a scent here, almost the same sound, right? So we didn't choose this. Sally and option D, Sally is on the set with her. Yeah, quite the same sound also. So the best answer is C. Good job. Do you have any questions so far? No? All right. Now it's time for us to have the summary. Here is what we can summarize for today's strategy or today's lesson, right? First one, we need to focus on the second line. Second one, identify synonyms. And the last one, avoid similar sound traps. Good job. Before we end our lesson, I have an assignment for you. You can go to our classroom on Google with this link, and then I have already put the exercise right there as well as the audio. So the due will be July 20. Yeah, around 5 more days. Thank you very much. I will see you again in the next meeting. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.